Tonight, the A's return to the East and welcome one of the beasts from the AL East. The Boston Red Sox come to town to open up a 4-game set. The Red Sox boast some of the most exciting young players in the league, along with a mix of veterans that make them a difficult team to handle. The A's need some home cooking. After another rough trip, the Green and Gold come home where they have won 11 of their 17 games. The Athletics offense has been inconsistent, but maybe a return to the Coliseum will ignite the bats, get a streak going, and more importantly, get some wins. It's the Red Sox and the A's. Game 1 of 4, and it starts right now. It's a beautiful night for baseball at the Coliseum, and we are thrilled to be back home as the A's open up a 6-game homestand. They'll do that with Sonny Gray on the mound. It's the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Last year, the Boston Red Sox, best record in the American League, but then swept in the division series. And Ray, David Ortiz then retires. And so it's still a pretty good Boston team, but it's a lot different without Ortiz.
I've never seen a player who had the year offensively that David Ortiz had last year retire, because normally the pitchers tell you, but this is what has happened in this ball club. 3 games over 500. Yes, they play well at their home park at Fenway Park. They've made too many errors, but without having the big Poppy right in the middle of the lineup, all these young kids that everybody talks about with the Boston Red Sox, they have to step it up and they have to play better. They do have Hanley Ramirez, but the one guy I think also, Dustin Pedroia, is their leader on this ball club.
Sonny Gray will make his 4th start this year. Ray, get the feeling Sonny is close, but he's still kind of searching for maybe just that next step up with his stuff. It's good, but not quite great yet.
Well, a win tonight does a couple of things. He gets his first win of the season, but it's also first win ever against the Boston Red Sox as he makes his 100th career start. He's never defeated the Red Sox, the only team in the American League that he's not won a game, but he does need to pitch. He has changed his delivery a little bit, but the thing about Sonny, he has to throw his curveball. Even if you spike it, you have to throw it consistently and hope that the catcher tonight, Stephen Vogt, can block it.
Red Sox pitcher tonight is Hector Velasquez. He is making his major league debut. So that's your pitching matchup for game 1 of this 4-game series. It is also Sharks night here at the Coliseum. A's, Red Sox coming up. We'll have lineups and first pitch right after this.
A's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Jack in the Box, introducing the new Brunchfest menu. It's brunch time anytime at Jack in the Box.
So the A's are back home, and it'll be Sonny Gray's turn in the rotation as he'll take on these Boston Red Sox. First of 4, so it should be a good weekend. The weather's supposed to be terrific, so we're looking forward to being home for the weekend. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. Nice warm 71 degrees, and sounds like it's actually supposed to warm up even a little bit more tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's a beautiful night for baseball. Visiting Boston Red Sox, here's their starting lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Mookie Betts will lead things off in right field. Dustin Pedroia at second. Xander Bogaerts at short. Hanley Ramirez is the DH and the cleanup hitter. Then it's Mitch Moreland, Chris Young, Jackie Bradley Jr., Christian Vasquez, and Devin Marrero.
Sonny Gray looking for his first one of the season, making just his 4th start. And for Sonny Gray also trying to beat the Boston Red Sox last year in a season that wasn't that great for him anyway, but he had a horrible start at Fenway Park, just 3 2/3 innings. So Sonny Gray pitching well. He's healthy, and that's the key. And since he's healthy, he should be pitching well.
Defensively for the A's, Chris Davis in left, Rajai Davis in center, Matt Joyce in right, Trevor Plouffe, Adam Rosales, Jed Lowry, and Ryan Healy third to first, with Stephen Vogt doing the catching. So we are set for baseball from the Coliseum. Still some sunshine out in right field, but that'll be gone in about an inning as Matt Joyce shades his eyes out there. First pitch of the game, and it's low to Mookie Betts. So 7:07 first pitch. Betts at 295, 7 homers, 27 RBIs.
That's the sun in Matt Joyce's eyes, and we've seen it in the right fielders, and of course over the weekend it'll be in left field.
Marty Foster is the home plate umpire. Crew chief is Mike Winters at first. Chad Whitson at second. Mike Malinsky at third. One delivery is just a touch high. 2-1 to Betts.
You know, one of the things, Kite, that happens to a pitcher, player, when they don't have particularly great numbers against that other team. And for Sonny Gray, 0-2 in his career. Matt Joyce must not need the glasses, I guess, maybe for the A and A's.
There's a line shot to center field, and that's a base hit for Mookie Betts.
See, there's a location right down the middle, belt high. Very hittable pitch. Betts with 7 home runs in the leadoff spot. But if you don't have particularly great numbers, you start thinking about it. Actually, the first pitch was in the dirt. Sonny had that look on his face like, here we go. But I mean, it's then to throw that pitch 2-1, a very hittable pitch for Betts to start the game.
Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. There's the numbers against the Red Sox. 1 start each in 2014, 15, and 16. Here's Dustin Pedroia. First pitch to Pedroia is a strike. Veteran second baseman hitting .274 with a couple of home runs and 15 RBIs.
And one thing about the former Athletic hitting coach now with the Red Sox, Chili Davis, if you are doing anything and you're tipping a pitch, he's going to figure it out. And he is always watching the pitcher and helping his hitters. It's a kind of a lost art, but there's Chili, a great career as a player, hitting coach outstanding with the Athletics, and did a good job with the A's.
So his 3rd year in Boston.
Switch hitter, and he could hit from both sides with a lot of power.
Pedroia down the right field line, foul. So the count goes to 1-2. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. That is Hector Velasquez, who is making his major league debut tonight. He's starting pitcher for the Red Sox. We'll tell you more about him when he steps on the mound.
And the best thing you could do if you're facing him is have a 0 on the board for the Red Sox. You do not want to help him offensively and make it easier to his debut, which a run or two would do that. Excellent manager John Farrell, former pitching coach. Terry Francona, manager in Toronto, and now with the Red Sox, and took him to the World Championship in 13, his first year manager of the Sox.
What do you do for an encore, huh, when you win it in your first year?
Yeah. Well, what you do is have your #1 player, David Ortiz, stand up on the podium and say the greatest thing that happened in the Boston Red Sox was John Farrell being manager. I think he's okay. I think he's set. He's a good man, and not a lot of pitchers or pitching coaches become managers. Roger Craig might have been the first one across the bay. A hum baby pitching coach manager.
2-2 pitch, good take by Pedroia. Well, the Red Sox were just in St. Louis. They had just a 2-game interleague series. Tuesday and Wednesday games, and they won both of those games.
Last night took a little bit while.
Yeah, it was a little longer than they probably wanted. Late flight. That one driven down the right field line. It is foul. So the Red Sox and the Cardinals played into the 13th inning last night. In the top of the 13th, it was former Chris Young who dropped the single into shallow left center field. And that was the go-ahead run, and that is how the game ended.
He thought he was playing in Houston. And did he have some series for the Athletics in Houston?
Chris Young in the lineup tonight, hitting 6th and playing left field. So the Red Sox come in 21-18 on the year. They are 4 games behind the first place Yankees in that AL East. They're 9-9 on the road. So they're right where they figured they would be in the mix.
I got to think about Pedroia going opposite field, which he does so well.
Runner goes. The ball's tapped slowly. Plouffe cannot pick it up clean, and Betts is going to try for third, and he's going to make it. Mookie Betts was running on the play, so he got to second base, and he rounded second base right about the time the ball came off Plouffe's hand, and he was caught a little bit for a short second, but then at great speed he just kept coming.
Well, it's one of those, if Plouffe could have come up with the ball cleanly, unfortunately Rosales didn't throw it, especially the way he ended up, but it's that topped ball, and with the runner on the move, it's a do or dare play, and you do or die, and unfortunately it did not work for Plouffe, but Betts on the move, and you're right, he kept running because he knew the ball on the third base side he was going to run, stopped, and then continued. And fortunately for him, no throw, and probably the best thing that happened was Rosales not throwing.
So it's a base hit. So a very unconventional first to third.
Exactly.
But it worked. So runners at the corners, nobody out for Xander Bogaerts. 338 the average for Bogaerts, but no home runs in 12 RBIs. He does have 8 doubles and 4 triples among his 46 hits. Big curveball, and it's 0-2. Bogaerts among the leaders in the American League in batting average. He is currently 5th with that 338 average. Just saw Gene Segura. He leads at 359.
Trout, of course, right in the middle of everything. This guy's tough to strike out. 2 strike hits are off the chart for Bogaerts. Oh, wow.
Nasty pitch and a weak swing by Bogaerts.
You know, we're talking before, Cap. That's the pitch he has to throw. Runner at third base. Stephen Vogt, throw the curveball. I'll block it. Watch this block by Stephen Vogt. You have to do it. Keep the ball in front. Run at third. And a big swing on a bad pitch. And Stephen Vogt just smothered the ball, kept it in front of him. And that is a big one to keep from going back to the backstop. Second base for one runner. Third guy comes in. Instead, got a chance now. Get a ground ball. Get out of the inning.
So up steps Hanley Ramirez. Hanley Ramirez in the cleanup spot, hitting .252 with 5 home runs, 16 RBIs. Fastball right down the middle for a strike.
The 3 pitches to Bogaerts and big ones, and curveball, curveball, curveball in the dirt. That's called teasing. And he just kept throwing it and got better and better. Turned out to be some great pitches.
Sonny Gray. Runners on, just .226 average for opponents. Mentioned in the open that Sonny Gray, he's looked decent, but not maybe quite as dominant as we've seen. And the thing that stands out to me, Ray, in his first 3 starts is you're used to more swings and misses from Sonny Gray.
Yeah,
that's why the swing and miss to Bogaerts was big, because when Sonny's on top of his game, he's going to get a lot of swings and misses.
And that's where he had to trust his catcher, Stephen Vogt, to throw the ball down, because that's where he needs to throw his curveball. And granted, catchers aren't going to block all of them. See, there's another one down. That's the swing and miss curveball, the biting curveball that he has to throw to good hitters. You don't want to hang them. Actually, the 2-1 fastball to leadoff hitter Betts, not even close to what he wants to do. And this time, as he did with Bogaerts, he does it now with the big man, Hanley Ramirez, and that's the kind of curveball he needs to throw.
That's at third, Pedroia at first.
See that increase of pitch count, so that means he can go deeper in the game.
Blocked nicely by Vogt.
Stephen Vogt had a game last year with Sonny Gray pitching. Saturday afternoon, he did this 8 times in 1 inning. But that's the confidence you show your catcher, your pitcher, by blocking them like that. And you know, that saved another run, or at least a run there, as he did with Bogaerts.
Sonny has 1 strikeout, needs another one right here. Ramirez, always dangerous. That's a base hit to left field. So it was a breaking ball, and maybe not quite as down as he had hoped, and Ramirez rips it into left field for an RBI hit. So the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead.
Well, exactly right, Kite, because while the curveball is a good pitch, but look at the location, stayed up just enough that he was able to lift under it. Did not have the bite to get down even on the ground. That's why his helmet fell off as he swung through it and almost fell down. But the hustle by Betts, maybe that ball been too hard to score him from second, but at third easily scores him.
So here's Mitch Moreland. Strange to see Mitch Moreland in a different uniform than the Texas Rangers. He spent all of his career with the Rangers until this year. He was a free agent, signed a 1-year, $5.5 million deal to come to the Red Sox. So the plan for the Red Sox was, well, last year Hanley Ramirez played quite a bit of first base, but I think ultimately they wanted Hanley Ramirez to be the DH. He is the DH. So they went out and signed Mitch Moreland.
Brought in the Gold Glover.
That's right. And generally tough on the A's. True story brought to you by McDonald's. Mitch Moreland has 3 career home runs off Sonny Gray. 1 all as the Texas Rangers, obviously. A couple of them in 2015 and 1 last year. So Moreland in his career against Sonny Gray, 5 for 18 with those 3 home runs. So a matchup to watch. They faced each other quite a bit.
We nicknamed him Babe Moreland, didn't we?
Babe Moreland.
He was one of the few Babes that we have talked about, as in Babe Ruth, not Babes otherwise. But Moreland, you know, he had a teammate in Texas by the name of Adrian Beltre, who left the Mariners to go to Boston for 1 year. Had an excellent season, and we know the rest of the story. Now a huge contract with the Rangers, extended again. So 1-year contract, playing in the midst of a pretty good lineup that Moreland is playing with. Be different. He had Big Poppy in the middle of the lineup, maybe in front or back.
3-1 now to Moreland. Chris Young is the on-deck hitter, so we'll have a quick meeting between Stephen Vogt and Sonny Gray. 23 pitches here in the first inning for Sonny. Benson Pedroia started it with a hard single and then an infield single. The 3-1 pitch is low and Moreland walks.
Does that a lot too, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Amazing.
That's a good call. He leads the team in walks.
Well, still need the ground ball for the double play, and if Sonny Gray could get out of this inning with 1 run given up, that would be tremendous for him. Hopefully settle him down. Sometimes you get hitters who are more fly ball hitters than ground ball hitters, and the type of pitch that you throw might create the ground ball to get what you're looking for in a double play.
So here is Chris Young. First pitch to Young is a fastball first strike. Chris Young now 33 years old. This is his 11th year in the big leagues. One of those with the A's. That was 2013. He played in 107 games.
Never really fit in as an extra outfielder with the A's, and they brought him in thinking that would work out for him.
That one is driven left center field, but it's going to hang up for Rajai Davis. Plenty deep to get Dustin Pedroia home. So it'll be a sacrifice fly for Chris Young, and the Red Sox lead 2-0.
That is the problem right there. You have a fly ball hitter, and that's exactly what Chris Young was trying to do, get the ball in the air and avoid the double play. And the pitch that he got was a good pitch to hit in the air.
Center fielder, number 19.
So for the young man making his major league debut, that young man right there, not so young at 28, but he's already got a couple of runs on the board, and see how he handles that, but at least he's going to take the mound with the lead.
So here's Jackie Bradley. Bradley hitting in the 7th spot. Good sharp curveball to call the ball. Just a .212 average for Bradley, so a slow start. Very good defensive center fielder. Good swing, fouls it just to our left. Bradley, his first couple years with the Red Sox, struggled offensively, but last year finally put it all together. He hit .267 with 26 home runs, 87 RBIs, and of those 26 home runs, 3 of them came against the Athletics last year, and 15 RBIs.
Say a grand slam in one of the games at Fenway.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good season against the team.
He had a very nice year last year. Also had 30 doubles, 7 triples, so all across the board. Stayed healthy, played every day. And the Red Sox are hoping that is the Jackie Bradley they've been waiting for, but this year a slow start. One and 2 the count. Ramirez at second, Moreland at first. Ramirez does not run real well. So 30 pitches now in the first inning. 12 balls and 18 strikes.
It's just too many pitches. You'd like to get the ground balls. Just don't want to see the ball in the air. Bob Melvin knows that Sonny Gray is the guy that everybody else kind of feeds off of. They want him to pitch well, so everybody else follows him.
1-2 pitch is hit high in the air, shallow left center. Rosales out. Chris Davis over, and Chris Davis grabs it side, retired. So 2 runs on 3 hits. There was a walk and a sacrifice fly. Red Sox lead 2-0. Sharks jerseys. My favorite Shark of all time is in the house. That's Owen Nolan. Starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The A's will send Rajai Davis, Matt Joyce, Jed Lowry, top 3, and then Chris Davis, Ryan Healy, Stephen Vogt, Trevor Plouffe, Chad Pinner, Adam Rosales. That's your Oakland A's starting lineup.
And for a young man making his major league debut, number 76, Hector Velasquez. And he is not overpowering, but for him to go through the Mexican League and be signed by the Red Sox, and they followed him, and now he's in the rotation. Of course, they're still waiting for David Price to come back, but right now this young man is starting in the big leagues tonight.
I see the AAA numbers were very good. First pitch to Rajai Davis, just misses.
That was the first ball thrown out of his major league debut in his career. We've authenticated.
Inside, and the count 2-0. So Hector Velasquez.
You're talking about an abbreviated wind-up stretch, whatever you want to call it. I mean, that is something different.
It's the strike call there.
I'm just watching the ball boy from the Red Sox taking the ball over to the A's side for authentication. There's the kind of a semi wind-up stretch, if you will.
Rajai Davis shoots from the right field, and that's going to be a base hit. A's get their leadoff man aboard in the bottom of the first. Defensively for the Red Sox, Chris Young, Jackie Bradley Jr., Mookie Betts. So that's a good outfield. Evan Marrero, Xander Bogaerts, Dustin Pedroia, Mitch Moreland around the infield with Christian Vasquez doing the catching. So Vasquez catching, Velasquez pitching.
Benedetti not in the lineup, and of course that young man, they've got a pretty good young lineup. It looked like Chris Young is game-winning hit last night. And you know what? John Farrell may be just playing Chris Young because he played for the Athletics. Sometimes that happens with the manager. He's already come up with sac fly.
Some managers don't believe in that.
I know. Mike Sweeney, where are you? Yeah, you're right. What a shock. But that happened.
Rajai runs, throw to second base. Got it.
Wow.
Well, the deal with Christian Vasquez, and I knew this before he threw, and he just showed it. He has a terrific arm. And watch this throw.
And Rajai had a tremendous jump, and look at Bogaerts stay right on the bag. And let's see if his hand gets in. He's tagged him on the backside, actually on the right shoulder. But the question is, was his hand there? This is a better shot. Yeah, he might be safe. We'll see. And of course, Bob Melvin looking on A's vision. The clock, is it even on?
Yep, he's not going to do it.
Wow.
Rajai Davis is out.
Well, the problem is the A's have been burnt with the overturns. They've tried to challenge them, and 3 times I can think of where it wasn't definitive, yet they were overturned. And this one maybe was not enough.
Chris Young has it dropped right in front of him. That was interesting. If he lost it momentarily.
Great shot here. Check the left hand. Got him on the right shoulder. And really too close. It was not definitively as far as him being safe. Bogaerts a great job. Quick throw by Vasquez. And there's the call at second.
Chad Whitson, the second base umpire.
Just breathed a sigh of relief. He didn't want to have a challenge in the first inning.
2-1 to Matt Joyce. 3-1 to Matt Joyce. Jed Lowry to follow. Folks settling in.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious that Velasquez does not throw hard, and you really have to be patient. And one thing Darren Bush talked about last night with Bergman, the Mariners pitcher, is that he had more movement on his pitches than they thought. Well, tonight, kind of the same way. That 3-1 pitch wasn't a challenge fastball.
That one not close, so Joyce has a walk. These will get their second base runner here in the first inning.
Batting third, second baseman.
And here's Lowry.
Number 8, Jed Lowry.
Jed Lowry's initial team was the Boston Red Sox.
Hurt a little bit too much for the Red Sox as far as physically, and
he was a high draft pick, Ray. He was a sandwich pick between the first and second round. He was the 45th player chosen in the 2005 draft. He got to the big leagues in 2008. And kind of back and forth, minor leagues to the big leagues, and like you said, injured in his time with the Red Sox. So he never really played a full year.
That's why when he came with the A's, then of course, unfortunately, last year had the foot injury plus his sleeping problems, but he's been healthy all season, and he talked about the health being the big key for him having a good season this year.
And that one gets past the catcher Vasquez, so the A's will get a runner in scoring position.
That was a clank.
That was a clank.
I mean, Vasquez is shaking his head, and I don't. It's one of those like, how did I miss this? It's going to be a wild pitch. That's horrible. That is. Did he say wild pitch?
That's not a wild pitch.
That's a pass ball. I mean, he didn't. That ball didn't hit the dirt. He just got fooled somehow. And when a catcher goes back shaking his head, if that call stays, he's a lucky young man, because that should have been a pass ball. Here's the ball hits.
You can't really make the call till you've seen the replay.
Right, and then you're right. And so he saw it. So see if he changes it. But you know, listen, for Vasquez catching Velasquez, you know, it's easier to catch a 100-mile-an-hour fastball than it is to catch something the way he's throwing. Off speed, so he throws a lot of off-speed pitches, and you know, he came out of the Mexican League. That's why they say a lot of the players in the big leagues go to the minor league or go to the Mexican League to learn how to hit the off-speed pitch, because that's pretty much what you see. And the A's are seeing it tonight from this young man.
2-2 the count to Lowry. Chris Davis waits in the next circle. Fastball at 90 miles an hour, so that's the best velocity we've seen from Hector Velasquez.
You know, the scouting report showed about 91 that he tops out, but still, it's more deception and off-speed stuff. There's Chris Davis, Ryan Healy playing first base, so got some power in the middle of the lineup.
Payoff pitch. And that one's rolled right past Mike Eldreddy. And Velasquez was signed early. Well, it says February 18th, so spring training had just started.
And he evidently impressed them during spring training. They followed him all the way through, and
he made 5 appearances in spring training. Last pitcher older to start in their major league debut for the Red Sox. Daisuke Matsusaka. Bradley going back, and that baby's gone. Center field for Lowry, and we're tied at 2.
Just an absolutely great swing off speed. Jed Lowry just stayed back at 76. Everything off speed. He's trying to fool him. Jed said no way. And I think kind of the temperature this evening, this is a perfect time to hit, because that ball jumped off his bat. It just kept going. And the best thing to see the back of a center fielder going after a ball they never got to. Great job by Jed Lowry. First one to center field. He's pulled them, but he stayed back and seeing a lot of pitches, which he did in the at-bat, and that helped him perhaps go straight away center.
Chris Davis fouls it back, so a quick 0-2 count to the A's cleanup hitter. So home run number 56 for the A's this year. They come in 4th in the American League in home runs hit.
But at least last night they did nothing because they were shut out. But Tuesday they had two 2-run home runs and a 3-run home run. So the last 4 have been something other than solos, which they've had too many with the solo. But a 2-run shot, especially to get the A's back even. Watch Jed. Watch him stay back on this ball, and that's the key. His bat was back, and then a great follow through straightaway center field, and the ball jumped off his bat perfectly. So there's a good player playing against his former team, Red Sox.
Davis drives to right center. That's hit well. And that baby's gone.
After 2 long home runs, Carl Willis, the pitching coach, is going to visit his pitcher, the veteran pitcher and pitching coach. But man, Chris Davis, you just never know when the ball leaves his bat. And it just takes off. At 83, he stayed back. And just, I mean, he has that kind of opposite field power. There's no reason to try to pull a pitch like that. Back-to-back at-bats, back-to-back home runs. And back-to-back Holy Toledo in the center field.
So home run number 12 for Davis. Solo shot. Lowry, Davis go back-to-back. So the home run leaders in the American League now updated with Alonso and Davis both with 12, trailing Judge and Trout. So still only 1 out. Here's Healy. So Healy takes the first pitch for a strike.
It's amazing the only out's been recorded on the bases, on the caught stealing.
That's right.
And Rogers got to be thinking, what was I doing?
Up and in a little bit.
Well, Sonny gave up 2, and the club has scored you 3 already.
Not close, and now it's 2-1. So this inning has gone single, walk, homer, homer. But you got to throw in the caught stealing. High strike called, 2-2.
See Chris Davis, well, for a while it's tough to hit a home run, and went from April the 29th to May 15th without a home run. Now 2 already within a series in Seattle and here.
It's a good look. First row out in left field. Pretty good view. Healy chases a pitch in the dirt. So Healy strikes out. So that's the first big league strikeout for Velasquez.
Well, he's threw another breaking ball, this time chased by Ryan Healy. Velasquez had to block it to keep it from going back, but did a good job. So he does the job behind the plate. Ryan Healy. That's where you watch a hitter and see how patient the guy before you is, because Ryan Healy has the power to go opposite field also.
So here's Vogt. Ortiz outside.
Sharks A's co-branded beanie. That's the giveaway tonight. Players wearing the Sharks on the back. Everybody was named Sharks. There is the beanie. Sharks A's co-branded beanie. Looks nice. Actually, some of the cold weather in Seattle might have been wearing them.
Yeah, we could have used one of those. That's a good call. Chilly 3 days in Seattle.
That was the first time this season back-to-back home runs for the Athletics. They've only had 4 3-run home runs, so that's kind of the way it's been in the season. A lot of home runs, but not with runners on base. That guy to the right, there's Marcus Semien, who is getting some work in, one-handed swinging and the bat, also fielding some ground balls. Can't throw with his right hand.
A shot picked by Bogarts, who was playing the shift side, retired. So the A's get back-to-back home runs, a 2-run shot from Lowry and a solo shot from Chris Davis. So kind of a wild first inning when it's all said and done. The A's lead it 3-2.
Memorial Day savings start now at Airport Home Appliance and Mattress.
So, as the first inning came to an end, we had some action, right? 3-2. A's lead the Red Sox. See if one of these two starting pitchers can now settle in. Sonny Gray facing Christian Vasquez, Devin Marrero, and Mookie Betts.
That first inning took about 35 minutes. It was a long first inning, but good for the A's to come back after being down 2-0, especially in light of this Red Sox team.
Salas, tough hop, throws across. Vasquez is retired, and for the first time tonight, let's check in with Angela.
Guys, I walked into the clubhouse earlier today to the faint smell of lavender sage incense burning in the air. That was brought in by Trevor Plouffe. Trevor wanted to make the clubhouse a bit more homey, and so he also brought in candles for the whirlpool area. He said his favorite kind are from Tommy Bahamas. And 90s Grunge was also playing in the clubhouse as an homage to the late Soundgarden frontman Chris Cornell. Plouffe had tweeted about changing his walk-up song to honor the musician, so his song now is Black Hole Sun. Guys, back up to you.
Busy day for Trevor Plouffe. Did you get all that?
I was going to ask you about if you could kind of repeat that. Incense and
peppermints.
I'm surprised Hoodie didn't come up with that already.
I think that's different music than Angela's talking about.
Incense and peppermint. Yeah. That's right.
You know what? Trevor Plouffe, he's trying to get things going, man.
You know, that doesn't say a lot about the clubhouse if you bring in incense. Some smelly sauce.
That's right.
I mean, that's a good clubhouse. Got some good food down there, some great food.
3-0 to Devin Marrero.
Well, you know, thinking about it, Cap, there are some places now they have sleep rooms where if you're a little tired, you can go and take a nap before a game. So maybe you have some incense and peppermint and some little music, and it makes you feel
not
good.
A terrible idea. You stop and think about it.
Rajay was telling me that in the World Series last year, I said, how was the World Series? He said, man, guys were just chilling out, taking a nap before the game. And what? Man, you're so pumped up for a World Series game. But I guess that's kind of a way to key down a little bit.
Marrero hits one high in the air to right field. Joyce going back. Joyce near the wall, and he caught it.
You sure?
Yes, he did.
Wow, what a... I mean, I think he thought he's going to have to play the ball off the wall the way he was going back. I think the ball's carrying quite well tonight. This ball Marrero hit, I think it looked like Matt Joyce said, oh, it's going to be off the wall. I got to jump, and he got another 2 feet before he finally hit the wall. That's not good when you jump thinking that you have to jump up and the wall's going to stop you. He could have taken another step back. He almost fell down. Wow. And this is a Thursday night.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be nice all weekend. Yeah. So
it says it all. And there's no sun in his face.
0-1 to Mookie Betts, who singled and scored in the first inning.
See, in Boston, he could have been catching that on the run. He'd had another 30 feet before he got to the wall.
Sharp curveball, strike inside corner. Betts thought it was a little too far inside.
Now, this is one thing they talk about: pitch framing, catcher framing. Now, Stephen Vogt, I mean, instead of taking the ball over towards the hitter, he kind of kept it on the inside corner. But bottom line, the umpire called it where it went over the plate.
A quick throw to first, and he had to be quick. He was, and he got Betts, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Sonny Gray. Bottom of the second coming up. A's lead 3-2.
Up next week, the ballpark gates will open at 4:30 p.m., 1 hour earlier than usual for all remaining Tuesdays to allow fans the opportunity to watch the A's take batting practice. Tuesdays also feature free parking at the ballpark as part of Chevy Free Parking Tuesday. That is, folks, if you want to watch batting practice, you want to watch the players take infield practice, get out here early and you get a chance to go to left field, maybe catch some home run balls. And that's a fun time to come to the park early and watch batting practice.
That's right about the time the A's start batting practice.
Exactly. They stretch a little after 4, and then they start batting practice and can go maybe till 5:15, 5:20.
Perfect.
It's a good opportunity because people say they want to do it. Remember, there was some talk at one time about maybe having them flip-flop, have the visitors hit first and the home team last. It just messed up the schedule. Can't do it because there's too many things that you want to try to do as a home team, especially in your home park. But that's a good opportunity on Tuesdays to come out and watch the boys take BP. You know these good baseballs they hit? You catch a home run ball, it's a pearl, man. It's not some old baseball. It's a brand new one.
1-2 pitch, and Plouffe swings and misses. Velasquez gets his second strikeout.
Just a fastball right down the middle. Sometimes the pitch that you think you can do some damage turns out to be the one you cannot hit. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Maybe Carl Willis told him in between innings, you got a fastball, use it. You guys are sitting back on your off-speed pitches. They changed the wild pitch to a passed ball.
Yes, they did.
First inning.
And who was the hitter? That was on.
That would have been.
Joyce moved up, right?
Joyce moved up. So
Pinder is retired. Well, we said it's Sharks night, and earlier tonight, S.J. Sharkies in the house. That's pretty good.
Wow.
Batting the ninth position, shortstop.
That's the Barracuda. We'll tell you about them in a minute. That's Randy Hahn, Dan Rusanowski, and that is Owen Nolan. He was a bad man.
He looks bad.
He was a bad man. Canna enjoying some time with the Sharks, and those guys are hanging out.
Get off your phones, guys. Watch a game.
Can they? I want to know if that group can hear it, because I want to tell. Owen Nolan, you are my favorite player. Can you hear me? Come on.
Give a wave if you could hear Kite. Evidently not. Dan.
Owen Nolan, you were my favorite player. Owen Nolan was great because he was like a really, really good goal scorer, right? And he was a really, really good player. But he would drop the gloves in a heartbeat.
And you know what? He should, because I don't know anybody would want to take him on.
It was great. Score a goal. 2 minutes later, let's go. Love it.
That's good.
So those gentlemen having a good time tonight in a luxury suite.
Hey, how about an A's fan over a Red Sox fan eating a dog or something and caught the ball with the gloves?
In the air toward Chris Young. Chris Young comes in, waits, he's got it. Velasquez has a 3-up, 3-down second inning. So we're moving to the third. A's 3, Red Sox 2. Kelly Johnson bring you the happy hour. Also available to listen live and as a podcast on NBCSportsBayArea.com. Top of the third inning from the Coliseum. It'll be Pedroia, Bogarts, and Ramirez. First pitch is tapped foul.
Some anti-Red Sox fans here tonight, I think.
Yeah, right below us. We're hearing everything that he has to say. 0-2 to Pedroia, who had an infield hit in the first inning and then scored. This 4-game series for the Red Sox is finishing up a stretch of a lot of road games. They will have played 12 out of 15 on the road. This one toward Joyce, who comes in, reaches up and makes the catch.
That's good positioning by Matt Joyce. That's something you have to do. Pedroia, he doesn't strike out much, and if he does that, it's kind of a protecting swing going opposite field. And if you're playing too deep, that ball might drop in, but he's playing shallow, comes in a couple of steps, takes it out of the air for the first out. That's just good defensive play. Doesn't have the sun in his eyes, doesn't take sunglasses off the top of his cap. He's all set now.
There's Bogarts, who takes a strike at the knees. Bogarts struck out with runners at first and third in the first inning.
And that's surprising because well documented about his career being a great two-strike hitter. And
Rosales dives. He's got it. He gets up, throws to first. Got him.
wow, what a play, Rosie. And to catch it once he catches it, that's the third Holy Toledo of the night. Base hit up the middle. No, Adam Rosales catches it. Watch how quickly gets up and fires a bullet to Ryan Healy. What a great play by Adam Rosales, leaving his feet parallel to the ground, pops up quickly, and at that point, it's all his because he's got a tremendously strong arm to catch the ball, leaving his feet, and comes up throwing hard and gets the out. That's a great play.
So 2 outs, and here's Hanley Ramirez, who hits with nobody on base. Swing and a miss.
This play can make a player's night. If Adam Rosales does nothing else tonight, he's done a tremendous job. That's called completely laying out, airborne, comes up, throw to Ryan Healy, and Sonny Gray's got to love it. He remembers Boston last year.
So 1-1 the count to Ramirez, who had an RBI single in the first inning. Lined a single into left field that scored Betts. Ran that one in on Ramirez. Ramirez signed that big 4-year contract a couple years ago. It was a 4-year, $88 million deal. So this is year 3.
He'll be getting by on that.
Of the 4. Yeah, he'll be fine.
Dr. Alan Pont, one of the A's team doctors, said that man's big.
Yeah, he is big.
He went over to the visiting side and I guess stood alongside the man. He said he's big. He said, yeah, I know he's big, Dr. Pont.
So Ramirez strikes out. What a play by Adam Rosales to get the second out, and then Ramirez strikes out for the third out. But this play is indeed worth another look. Bottom of the third coming up. Smart youngster already has the baseball in hand. So he's, I mean, really, he's set.
Hey, life is good.
Oh, man. You got a baseball in your hand, and it's only the bottom of the third inning.
And that's why if you can come out on Tuesdays and watch batting practice, you don't get a rubbed up baseball that you get during the game. It's a pearl.
That's true.
I mean, I mean, you can get autographs on that, and it looks like it's brand new. Because Phil Poe, who's one of the bullpen catchers, he rubs up the baseballs for the game and for bullpen, but not for batting practice. So you can get a pearl. And I say pearl, that means it's pristine. It's white. It's right out of the package. You don't have to spend $15. There's Emo and Phil Poe with the catching gear on.
That's how Phil got those big muscles. Just
that's right, rubbing
up a
baseball.
yeah.
Exactly.
2-1 pitch to Rajai Davis, just a bit high. Rajai drops the bat like he always does.
Phil Poe, one of the rare guys that you can say, where did you grow up? Cooperstown. So you're a Hall of Famer. He actually grew up in Cooperstown. That's pretty special. Yeah.
Hey, you ever been to Cooperstown?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, every day.
That's right.
Ooh, and that got the home plate umpire Marty Foster pretty square and knocked him backwards.
Right off the mask. That's too bad. I saw the men in blue come in, and well, you can see where he's positioned. Just took his mask right off. Vasquez, he took his mask off. Vasquez holding him up though. That was the jolt that it took off right over the catcher's mitt and the catcher into the umpire. Collins, the assistant athletic trainer, out to attend to the umpire as well as the other umpires coming in. Well, you always talk about catchers, and we saw Bruce Maxwell over the weekend take some shots. Catchers take it, but umpires also, and they may be a little bit more vulnerable than catchers at times, where the ball comes off the bat. Melvin knows as a former catcher.
It looks like Marty Foster's going to be okay. That's good news.
Yeah, all the umpires also remembering as we did this right over the catcher's mitt. Vasquez went to catch it, but the foul ball, of course, changed the direction. And he immediately heard the ball hit the mask of Marty Foster and grabbed him to keep him from falling down.
So the count is full to Rajai Davis. Pop up. Little bounce right in front of the dugout and into the first row. No problem. That's got to be a bad feeling.
Well, that's, and I've been there, done that. I mean, it's not a good feeling because you can see opening, closing his eyes. It's almost like it got the cobwebs and trying to being able to
probably
see.
Feel sick.
Oh yeah.
Don't...
It's a horrible feeling. Horrible feeling. And every umpire knows, of course, they rotate. They're behind the plate once every 4 days, but in the case of Marty Foster, that is quite a shot.
Well, everybody will keep a close eye on Marty Foster as in the next couple innings, make sure he's doing okay. Line drive, left center field. Bradley's not going to get it. Lands at the base of the wall. Rajai Davis is going to round second. He's going to try for third, and Rajai is safe with a triple.
Now they're checking. They're saying it came off, and that's what the third baseman did. Marrero pointing in, thinking that it came off the bat when he slid, and of course it happened so quickly.
He jumped up right away and signaled to his dugout, which you see a lot of the players that make the tag do that. But he was pretty adamant about it.
Yes, he was, and most of them are. They've got the 30 seconds down to 10-9 now as we're going to watch the replay, and Ball kicked off the wall and stayed still. That's why Bradley took a little time to get to it. His right foot stayed on. I think he started. Watch the right foot. He comes off with the left, but his right foot looked like it got on before the tag was made, and I think they're going to take a look at it and see.
Well, it looked to me like it came off momentarily, but that maybe he got it back down.
The right foot looked like he got the right foot down before he tagged him. That's what I thought.
It did come up off the bag just ever so slightly.
Now watch the right foot as his left foot comes up off the bag. Check the right foot.
Right there.
Tags him. See, the right foot's on the bag whenever he went after him. And well, we're back to the old definitive thing again. But the momentum, see the left foot, it may come off, but watch the right foot as the left foot's off.
But right there it comes off again, and then it touches again. Yeah. So it's very close, but I don't know that there's enough there to actually overturn it.
And unfortunately, we can't say that anymore because 3 times the A's have had it. You think it's not definitive, and it's as stands, which is a safe call. But we've seen too many times where what we thought was a non-definitive look at a play. Rajay would not have gone to third had Bradley not had the ball stay at the wall in center field.
So Marrero and Rajay Davis are going to chat about it, see what they think.
You know what I wish they would do, Kite? They start the 30-second clock for this case for the Red Sox. Yeah. Why not start the 2-minute clock?
I agree. It's
for
the same
New York.
thing, right?
Exactly. You know, I mean, they've got unlimited time in New York, and they're putting all the pressure here.
See, off there, but then the right foot goes back on.
Where's the left foot? The left foot on the bag or off? That seems to be more than 2 minutes. Wow.
My goodness, they called him out.
Can't believe that. Well, so much for definitive, because that is, it's out. Not even a possibility. I think, Kite, because there were so many last year that were a play stands because not definitive. It seems like there have been so many that have gone against it.
Now batting.
So it'll be a double and then an out. So Rajay Davis is thrown out at second, and thrown out at third.
That's a bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah.
So here's Joyce in. That's a big play.
Yeah, it's huge.
They had a runner at third and nobody out.
And if Bradley comes up with it cleanly, he stops at second.
Joyce walked and scored in the first. Shift is on for Joyce. He rolls it foul. Joyce shows bunt, pulls the bat back.
Look where the defense is playing him. I don't blame him.
Why not give it a shot? Huh?
Yeah. Especially with a right-handed pitcher.
And it's going to work as he shoots it by Marrero, who was playing like a shallow shortstop spot. That was a tough hop. That was actually Bogarts, excuse me. Now let's go back to look at this.
Now batting second baseman.
So this is synced up. So it's incorrect time. Just two different looks at the same time.
Left foot definitely is up off the bag. See, if they're saying right there his right foot's off, it's not. It's on. Huh.
Little pop-up foul territory. Marrero hustling over. Marrero, he caught it. No, he dropped it.
Mound got him.
Yeah.
That will get a lot of guys. You get your head up with the mound approaching. Hit it in the glove. No, he dropped it before he got to the mound. Almost came up with it.
Well, you got a little leather on it. So 0-1 to Lowry, who hit a 2-run homer in the first inning. Did to straightaway center field. Defense plays Lowry straight away. Quick throw to first. So the tag to the knee, and I guess they're saying that that right foot is actually off the bag.
But it looks like on the one up the left there, it looks like it's on. It looks like it's on the bag there.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Line drive, base hit right field. Joyce will stop at second.
Tell you what, the A's hitters tonight are doing a tremendous job of staying back. And against a pitcher who's not really overpowering, and maybe they learned from last night. Jed Lowry is 2 for 2, a home run, and then this solid base hit to right field. But he's staying back perfectly, and it's almost like saying, you can't throw the ball by me, I'm going to stay back. And whether it's an off-speed pitch or a fastball, it's good hitting by the guys tonight. So once again, the A's first 3 runners, first 3 hitters.
Bang, bang, bang.
Now Chris Davis, the power to the opposite field. We have seen it often, and we see it again. It just kept carrying. Over the Ricky Henderson field sign. Now that salute to Chip Hill, approaching third base, is going to be an upcoming bobblehead.
See Chip wave somebody home right now.
That's right. Chip was so upset last night. There was not even a runner in score position for him.
Yeah, he was so bored.
He was terrible. I mean, he was upset. Tremendous. I mean, he just didn't know what to do with himself.
At the knees, first strike.
He had so much energy that when we landed last night, he had a suitcase and he was sprinting to his car. So what are you doing? He said, nobody saw me all night. He
was the only one sprinting to.
That's right. He's as passionate as there is when it comes to the game of baseball. He is always prepared.
Foul back. Good swing by Chris Davis.
See, he let that ball travel deep also. It's almost kind of like he is thinking, I don't have to try to pull it. I can let it get deep on me. I can still hit it out to right field. It's a breaking ball he hit his first at bat.
Looks like he's starting to do that a little bit more. Should be a very good sign. High fastball hits it foul. It's been a tough month for Chris Davis, but there's still time to turn this thing around. He had a great month of April. Did hit a home run in Seattle. That was his only hit in that series. Again into the seats. So 61 pitches for Hector Velasquez with 1 out here in the 3rd inning.
Those numbers right there just show you what can happen to a power hitter. And he can hit 10 home runs in April like he did, and month of May they pitch him differently. And thing here with so many scouts reports, and
chop slowly toward third. Marrero goes to second for 1. Pedroia to first. Got him. Terrific turn of the double play by Dustin Pedroia, and another close play. This one was at first base. So nothing going the A's way in that inning. They are not going to look at it. So 3 hits, including a double, and no runs for the A's.
On NBC Sports California is brought to you by Humboldt Redwood. Naturally strong, naturally beautiful Humboldt Redwood arbors, pergolas, and timbers.
So leading things off for the Boston Red Sox, Mitch Moreland. 3-2, the A's leading. It's the top of the 4th inning. Sonny Gray has retired 8 in a row. 4 of the first 5 hitters reached base, but since then he has settled in. And what's nice about tonight, Ray, we're seeing looks like a sharper breaking ball from Sonny Gray.
Yeah, he struck out Ramirez last inning to end the inning with a good curveball. Of course, the first inning it got Bogarts, who never strikes out with any time. Or get him out, you're lucky, but he actually struck out.
Up and away to Moreland.
And I still think, Cap, a lot of that is a trust in your catcher. I mean, you need to throw it the right way. You don't want to hang them, and that's the thing that you never want to do as a pitcher. And you say to the catcher, and the catcher says to you, you throw it and I'll block it. And see a lot of times where a catcher put his mitt on the ground saying that's where I want it thrown. And he's basically saying I'll block it.
That one is hit a ton. Left center field. And it is gone. A long drive the other way by Mitch Moreland to tie up this game at 3. And Moreland's done it again. His 4th career home run against Sonny Gray.
Fastball up and away instead of down and in. It's off speed at 87. Was in a fastball and just tremendous power. Why does he do this against everybody else? That's only his 3rd home run. Walking like he did the first time. Amazing.
So here's Chris Young. So home runs versus the Athletics since 2010. Moreland 17, Pujols 17. Of course, Beltre leads everybody with 29.
Copycat.
Yeah. That's so 2000. What? 14, 13. So Chris Young strikes out. He had a sacrifice fly in the first inning.
Well, there's your good 12 to 6 curveball you talked about. Straight over the top, you threw it hard. And that's how you do it. You throw it hard. It looks like a good strike, and then it disappears. Stephen Vogt with the backhand and the curveball. And it's amazing how hitters just open their eyes when they see a pitch that's up. No matter what it is. If it's up, it's a mistake usually, and that's usually what happens and what Moreland did.
1-0 the count to Jackie Bradley. Bradley, he saw that curveball pretty well. So 1-1 the count to the center fielder, who hit a fly ball to left field in the first. Pretty good pitch by Sonny Gray.
It's one of those too close to take, and you hope it's not called, and it wasn't.
And now 3-1. So Sonny a little frustrated. You know what else is frustrating, Ray? You feel like you should have had a run in that third inning.
That's right.
And then top of the fourth, first guy hits a home run, and it's tied at 3.
Yeah. Well, even the first inning could have been a huge inning. Turned out to be 3 runs, could have been more.
So Bradley with a 1-out walk. This time now to check in with Angela once again.
It's the best of both worlds. Following up on the A's Sharks co-branded beanie, the Athletics will be auctioning off a limited number of jerseys worn during batting practice. Has the Sharks logo, A's logo, got the teal and the green in the back over here. This will all be going down on Saturday when the gates open, and then the auction closes at the end of the 5th inning. All the proceeds goes towards Oakland Promise, a nonprofit that helps youth gain scholarships for college. So Sharks A's all the way. Guys, back up to you.
All right, Sharks and A's getting together and not only having fun tonight, but doing things for a good cause, which is always nice. Runner goes. The ball is sliced down the right field line, foul by Christian Vasquez.
Amazing what the bottom part of the batting order. You see managers at the top. John Farrell with the top of the order, really not doing much. They might do a little bit, but at the bottom, it seems you get a runner on base. Let's try hit and run, and Bradley was on the move, good speed. Vasquez made contact to avoid a swing and a miss and a possible throw out.
Good curveball, drops right in there for a strike to Vasquez.
The hard curveball, while it was up, it was still thrown hard, and that's the key. Maybe that time Vasquez thought the ball was going to stay up out of the strike zone.
Two pitch down and away. Remember a couple years ago, Ray, the Red Sox were kind of the envy of many teams because they had 2 young catchers that everybody was really high on, Christian Vasquez and Blake Swihart.
That's right.
They're thinking, you know what, maybe keep one of them, trade one of them, or whatever, but we're in a good spot, and really neither of them has been able to put it all together. In fact, Swihart's been really in the minor leagues last year, most of the year too, I think. Vasquez.
I thought Swihart, of course we saw Mike Zunino not with the Mariners, and the 2 catchers they had not really hitting, and Mike Zunino, like Swihart, very good defensive catchers, and they look for more offense, and sometimes that will determine who's going to be catching at this level. Vasquez very strong throwing arm, as he has already shown tonight.
2 pitch, swinging and a miss, struck him out. Strikeout number 4 for Sonny Gray. So 2 away here in the 4th.
Shaking his head like he did, which was finally given a pass ball to the wild pitch, and now shaking his head after swinging and missing an excellent curveball from Sonny Gray. Vasquez got an assortment of curveballs, and all of them good.
Vasquez looking up at the replay up on the big board. hoping that maybe the results were different on the replay, but generally the results are going to be the same.
If you're going back to dugout, it's not going to change. The only thing that saves them having to go upstairs and watch the replay, they can watch it on A's Vision here.
Want to know the count to Devin Marrero. Marrero hit a deep fly ball to right field that Joyce made a nice play on. Bradley took off a couple pitches ago. He's got just one steal this year. Outside corner strike, 1-1. Bradley last year just 9 steals, so he's got good speed, but not necessarily a big base stealer.
See Ryan Healy playing first base tonight. It might be there a couple of days. Of course, the Red Sox will feature 3 lefties starting tomorrow. But Yonder Alonso tweaked his left knee, a check swing in Seattle last night. And when your cleats get caught in the dirt, that's not good.
Yeah, let's hope he's not out too long.
Another good curveball, so the curve is working well. Stephen Vogt staying with it. And Marrero swinging a miss on a good curveball, not only down but running away from it.
Bradley not running. Vogt with a nice block.
See, with a curveball, you almost expect it, if it's good, to be in that zone. As a catcher, you can anticipate the ball in the dirt. You call a curve, you know the pitch you've called, and if you want it in the correct place, it's going to be down and a lot of times in the dirt. And that's really, it's not a bad pitch to block because it's going to hit straight down and come up. Shook off the curveball.
Bradley runs. Vogt's throw to second base. Not in time, and Jackie Bradley has his second steal. So sometimes you pick the right pitch to run on.
Yep.
And when I say pitch, I mean pitch selection.
Exactly, because it was a slider. It was hard down, but because of the break, Stephen Vogt had no chance to do a little crow hop. It was simply catch and throw, and didn't have a lot on the throw. Throw him another breaking ball and go back to dugout.
See if he does. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball. And Marrero fouls it straight back.
Isn't that amazing? No matter how many curveballs you see, if there's a fastball, you're all over it. it's like
you should be at least.
Exactly. You're going to throw it eventually. I mean, all the reports show that the predominant pitch for most pitchers is the fastball. Sonny Gray's curveball tonight is his best pitch.
So another 3-2 pitch. Pitch number 75 coming up for Gray. It's hit toward the right side. Lowry's right there. On the first side, retired. So Mitch Moreland with a home run, his 4th home run in his career against Sonny Gray. So we are now tied at 3.
A's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Craftsmen of Commerce at Pitney Bowes, helping U.S. online retailers expand globally.
Welcome back to the Coliseum. 3-3 game, bottom of the 4th inning. As Ryan Healy will lead things off. Healy, Vogt, and Plouffe against Hector Velasquez making his major league debut. Healy struck out in the 1st inning, struck out swinging. 2 strikeouts for Velasquez.
I think Dan Rosanowski's got to go back over and talk to your boy.
That's right. Dan Rosanowski, the terrific radio voice for the Sharks, checking in. And you know what? We want to congratulate this group of hockey players. It's the San Jose Barracuda. Now, who are the San Jose Barracuda? You say, well, they're the minor league affiliate for the San Jose Sharks, and they have made it to the Western Conference Final, and they're getting set to take on Grand Rapids Griffins. They're going to do that starting Saturday. They play their games at the SAP Center, which is the home of the Sharks. So it's minor league hockey. It's no different than AAA Nashville for the A's. So good luck to those gentlemen.
I should see they're all decked out in the A's caps. Turn them around the front so you can see the A's on the front.
So they're playing at the Shark Tank and hoping that someday they play there in the NHL.
That'd be great.
So the San Jose Barracuda is their 2nd year as the affiliate for the Sharks.
Dan said that $10 tickets and the beverages are very inexpensive. I guess put it politely.
A cheap beverage that'll get people into the.
Especially the kind of beverage that you'd like to have at a hockey game, I guess. But if he goes back over and Nolan comes back here,
you better get your gloves on right.
No, you're protected. But I'm sure he's going to go back and say, hey, you know what Kipe says about you? You got to go over and see him.
Pitch is high. 1-2 to Vogt.
Yes, Dan said, how do you pronounce all these names? And he said the Danish are bringing a lot of places. Said that gets a little bit difficult. But
tough job.
Yeah, but just
hockey's not an easy sport to announce.
And especially you could go a whole game and not even have a score. That's why they scream when they score, right?
Yes, they should. Yeah, it's a high effort, minimum reward game. Joe Ward sporting his A's jersey.
What happened to his right arm? Surgery? Well, I mean, come on. Thanks to that.
He's going to be all right.
Yeah. See, he's drinking that inexpensive beverage that Dave Cabell has lowered the prices here at the Coliseum. Jackie Robinson jersey, 42. So he knows somebody. Well, Stephen Vogt just wait back, Stephen, and take a shot to left field because they're expecting him to pull the ball, see how they pitch it, they're going to go in.
That one's hit high in the air to right field. Got underneath. Betts backs up. Betts makes the catch. So Vogt is 0 for 2. That'll bring up Trevor Plouffe.
Now batting, 3rd baseman, number 3, Trevor Plouffe.
Plouffe struck out swinging. That was in the 2nd inning.
So that was his new walk-up music they just played briefly.
Sure.
Did you get it?
I did a little bit.
Incense and peppermint, that wasn't it?
No, not it. First pitch to Plouffe. Way out front. Skies went into foul territory. Marrero near the seats, and no.
It's a lot more foul territory than he'd ever imagined at Fenway. See what the security guard did? He picked up his chair and he moved. And that's what they're instructed to do right there. As soon as the ball came his way, he's instructed, pick up the chair and move, because the last year it was a ball down the line. The guy said, I'm out of here. The ball hit the chair. Hit the chair. Said, no, you have to take your chair with you. So David Renetti makes sure they learn the proper.
Line drive, left center field, a base hit. Young cannot get it, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Here comes Healy around third. Chip Hale's waving him home, and the A's are going to have the lead. So Trevor Plouffe, a double and an RBI and a lead for the Athletics.
See how quickly that ball scooted through the outfield. That's how hard it was hit by Trevor Plouffe. He stayed back after swinging through a fastball. His first pitch, or first at bat, this 90-mile-an-hour fastball came in towards his swing on the inner part of the plate and hammered to left field. And Chris Young tried, could not cut it off, and as a result, Ryan Healy able to go all the way around from first to home. As Chip Hale, you better be prepared because Chipper's going to be on the move. Chip, let's go. And then he checks on Plouffe to see how he's doing.
So Plouffe gets his 13th RBI, and here's Chad Pinder. Pinder, left center field, hit a ton. That baby is gone.
Swing. Well, they got Mike Hochschild. Early in the season, this hanging breaking ball was absolutely crushed. Stayed back. The young man has been hitting so well to the opposite field. This time, though, he pummels this ball to left center field, and no doubter when it left his bat. By the way, Hochschild lost his job in Texas, so don't know if that's going to happen here. Flat foot swing, and Chad Pinder, he has shown some pop in his bat, and he shows it again. And hands on for the Athletics.
Quick 0-2 to Rosales. So 3 runs in for the A's in a 6-3 lead. Something new, the reverse clap. Always something.
Always something.
Strike 3 call, and Adam Rosales knew it, spun around, heads back to the dugout.
Similar to the pitch that he took in Seattle Monday night. Watch this ball come back. Two-seamer outside part of the plate. Caught the outside corner.
So top of the order, and Rajai Davis. Curveball is inside. Rajai Davis, a single and a double. The double was the play where he was at third base. Thought he had a triple, but the safe call was reversed.
Velasquez gets a home run from his big first baseman and no shutdown. If the A's come back to score their 3.
A long throw, and they just get Rajai Davis side retired. So good inning for the A's. They score 3. Plouffe with an RBI double, and then Chad Pinder with a long home run. 2-run shot. So 5th inning coming up. The A's lead 6-3. presented by your Northern California Honda dealers. So the A's lead 6-3, top of the 5th inning. A lot of good swings by the A's tonight. They have 9 hits. So Sonny Gray with a little cushion anyways, but still work to do as he faces the top of this Red Sox lineup. First pitch to the leadoff man, Mookie Betts, in for a strike. Betts has singled and scored. He has grounded out. So a Red Sox lineup without David Ortiz. Strange stuff, isn't it, Ray?
I agree. He must be having a great time. I mean, just the fact that, well, he's written a book, he's done some TV, and he doesn't have to worry about getting his body ready to play.
Good for him.
Yeah.
David Ortiz finished with 541 career home runs, 17th on the all-time list. And look at the difference. 2016 with Ortiz. Runs, they led the league. This year, 8th. Home runs, this year they're last in home runs, which is still hard to believe. We'll take a look at that again as Betts is out. Think about that. They're last in home runs.
That is hard to believe, at Fenway especially.
And the batting average is down significantly. So they were a terrific offensive team last year. You get close to scoring 900 runs, you are.
15,
yeah,
that is good. But take a bat like that out, and listen, it's going to have an effect.
Yeah, and there probably was some talk at the time that Carl Yastrzemski retired, and of course the greatest hitter maybe Ted Williams and Jim Rice, and there were some guys that retired, but I don't know if they had the impact that David Ortiz has had.
I don't think so.
For the Red Sox. I mean, with the way, I mean, he brought them together, and what he did on the Patriots Day when they had that unfortunate bombing in downtown Boston. I mean, he just gathered the city, and he was quite the man.
Finished with 2,472 hits, the home run total, the RBI total.
You know, they talk about Reggie Jackson being Mr. October. How about this guy? He was pretty special in October himself.
Yes, he was. Yeah, you know what? He could have been Mr. October.
That's right.
I think there's a very small handful of players who have those certain intangibles that if you have them, they're incredibly valuable to a team. And I don't know that you can even write the intangibles down. They have it.
Oh, absolutely.
They just have it. They take pressure off the other people in the lineup.
I think that's probably the biggest thing, that you put him in the middle of the lineup, and you know, the name Cespedes came up before the game started tonight, and those kind of players are impact players right in the middle of the lineup, and you're always concerned, when are they coming up? And I know I remember talking to Trey Hillman when he was bench coach for the Astros, and Cespedes was here, and he said, okay, be careful, because if this guy gets on, then the other guy's coming up. Yep. And the other guy was Yoenis Cespedes. So there are certain guys that, you know, it's like you have a great closer. In the case of Raleigh Fingers, it pitched 3 innings. It wasn't the 9th inning. It was 7, 8, 9. And you get concerned because if you don't have the lead, here he comes. And now Mariano Rivera, he might pitch 2 innings when he was the greatest closer of the game. So certain players that have the impact. David Ortiz, the Red Sox, from the hitting standpoint and the leadership on the ball club, might have been the best.
Good pitch there. Strikeout number 5 for Sonny Gray. So that's 2 outs here in the 5th. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Talking about the Red Sox on the road, where they've actually been a pretty good hitting team on the road. Bogarts 356, Moreland 333. Now those are road averages, and overall as a team they're hitting 270. But the road record is 9-9. Red Sox 21-18 on the season.
Pretty good season last year for that young man, Mookie Betts, and running up the MVP. And some people thought he would win it.
Well, he had enough numbers to win it.
Yes, he did.
Mike Trout ended up being the guy. Oh, 0-2 to Xander Bogaerts. Nasty pitch. Bogaerts chased it, and Sonny Gray has a 3-up, 3-down inning with a couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the 5th coming up. A's 6, Red Sox 3.
Back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to @Bet Premium, #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
So Matt Joyce to lead it off. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Joyce, Lowry, and Davis here in the bottom of the 5th. A's with a 6-3 lead. Joyce has been on base twice tonight, and he has scored a run. That was pitch number 80 for Hector Velasquez. Looking at his minor league starts, he made 5 minor league starts. His highest pitch total was 96. So I don't know how much longer he's going to go here in his major league debut, but John Farrell's thinking, give me as much as you can. Now, why? Because this is what happened last night. 13-inning game in St. Louis. And the Red Sox, Ray, used all 8 of their relievers to pitch 7 innings. Now, they did a great job. They ended up with a total of 107 pitches thrown. But you used all 8 of them, and a couple of them you used a lot. And you got a 4-game series coming up here as Joyce strikes out. So that's got to come into play a little bit. At least tonight it does. So that group worked hard last night, and they ended up doing a great job and allowing the Red Sox to come back from a 4-0 deficit late and then win it in 13 innings.
Maybe they were all told, you're not going to pitch tonight.
A couple of them were probably told.
You're in there for the duration. Sometimes if the dugout's big enough, the manager tells the relievers, don't even go to the bullpen, just stay in the dugout, because you're not going to be used. And the starting pitcher, guess what? There's nobody down there to get loose.
Lowry had a good rip at a high fastball.
Jed Lowry's had some great swings tonight, including this one in the first inning. A 2-run home run, stayed back beautifully as he did in the second at bat for base hit. This one off the batter's eye, straightaway center field, just below the camera well. And Jed Lowry with his 5th home run He had the 2 home run game against the Angels to win it in walk-off fashion. See that glove in the back of Jed Lowry's pocket, in the right pocket? Catchers would tell the umpire, make him put it in his left pocket.
Could hit him, right?
Because if it hits him, that's a hit batter. It's part of the uniform.
See, that's a catcher observing right there.
Right. And I always watch him. I tell the umpire, make him put his batting glove in his pocket or push it all the way down. But that's like Hannah Ramirez with the dreadlocks.
What are you going to tell him?
If they
push those dreadlocks inside your helmet. Come on.
But, you know, the little things that, you know, maybe help out. Maybe just to have the hitter say, why are you asking me to do that? Well,
that would be fun to see. Ray Fosse ask Hanley Ramirez, hey, Hanley, you need to tuck those in because they do stick out a little further.
But if he leans back and the ball's up there and he hits one home, he's a hit batter.
That's right. And if he's trying to get hit in the dreadlocks, he's a better man than I am.
That's right.
That would be ultimate take one for the team.
Yeah. Well, they had the incident with Manny Machado and Matt Barnes, but you know that's. But yeah, those things have just changed a little bit. And see, I always took the white lines in the batter's box because I had certain hitters that wanted to get as deep as possible, so you wipe those lines out. Ground crew doesn't like it.
No.
You know, but
that's all right.
That's part of it.
A lot of catchers do that.
Yeah, get rid of the lines, and that way the umpire can't say move up.
So Lowry is retired. It was actually the third baseman, Devin Marrero, who was playing over on the right side.
I'm glad you're keeping up with those things.
So it's actually a 5-3.
5-3 for the right side, huh?
If you're following along.
Yeah.
So with 2 outs, here's Chris Davis, who homered in the first. Right on the outside corner for a strike. Davis homered and then hit into a 5-4-3 double play. Same pitch. Called a strike, 0-2.
Maybe Carl Willis told him, hey, young man, it's your major league debut. There's no pitch count. You're out there as long as you can go to save the bullpen. And your point about the pitchers who pitched last night to get the win.
Well, that'll wake you up.
Yes, it will. Back-to-back pitches outside, and all of a sudden, an unintentional pitch up and in as Vasquez, the catcher, wanted it down and away and way up and in.
Upstairs again to even the count at 2-2.
Throws one nose down. He may hit it out to right field. Not up around the head, though.
So he went back outside, just missed. See if Healy gets a chance to hit in this inning. Payoff pitch is bounced foul. Past Chip Hale, headed down toward the A's bullpen. The first inning really got Hector Velasquez when he gave up 3 runs. He got spotted the 2-0 lead. That pitch is low. So 2-out walk. Velasquez has had 2 chances for shutdown innings tonight, and he has not been able to do it in either one. In fact, he's given up 3 runs in each of those innings.
That's a great point. That's something you always hope for as a pitching coach or a manager. You put runs on the board, and all of a sudden you give them up that quickly, and it's failure on the pitcher's part, especially making his debut, and he gives up 3 in the first inning after his club scored 2.
Healy gets bent back out of the way.
You know what's happening now? He's starting to lose it. He's not following through. And your point about the number of pitches that he had thrown at minor league level, you know, that 100 mark is a magical number, and it's amazing. If the guys have never approached that number or going beyond it, as they get in this point now, he's at 97, that's 98. And you start doing things that you're not accustomed to doing in your pitching.
Well, that's a kind of a general location when a pitcher starts to get tired or that front side flies open a little bit. The ball goes up and into right-handed hitters.
Yeah, they just don't finish. It's just their arm. And if they've never approached that number, they're not accustomed to it.
Change up, and it's 1-2. So this will probably be the last inning for Hector Velasquez, if he can get out of it. Ripped foul. And they're getting some pretty good swings off him in the last couple innings.
You know, I think everybody thought last night, second, third time through the batting order against Bergman, that the Mariners, it'd be a different story, but they never did anything. Never got a runner in scoring position last night. Tonight, they've stayed back, they've waited, had some great at bats, and have 6 runs on the board.
That one cued, backhanded by Velasquez. He throws to first in time. So side retired, a 2-out walk, nothing else for the A's, and we're moving to the 6th. A's 6, Red Sox 3.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Provident Credit Union Super Reward Checking. We pay you.
Beautiful night in the Bay Area. Well, warm temperatures are on their way. Tonight, the A's leading 6-3 over the Red Sox, top of the 6th inning. So Sonny Gray has got 6 strikeouts, and well, his best inning was the last one. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts.
Curveball tonight might be his best that we've seen in a long time.
And that's good to know.
Absolutely. It makes his fastball that much better, but the curveball is his pitch, especially when it's thrown hard.
So he's facing Hanley Ramirez, Mitch Moreland, and Chris Young here in the 6th. Has an RBI single and a strikeout. He takes low. That's Robbie Ross, the left-hander, formerly with the Texas Rangers. So 90 miles an hour, but good movement, good sinking life.
Yeah, he stayed away from the curveball, fastballs, and of course he's missing low, which is good.
Right there, and it's 3-2. And Ramirez could not pull the trigger.
And headed to first base. That's a perfectly thrown fastball, and said out, ball four. Nope, he knows it's not. Knows he couldn't hit it. Wasn't there a Sharks player named Joe Thornton?
Yes, still is.
So Grant Thornton's not as.
No, I don't think so. I think they're related. Bang and a miss on a fastball up around the letters. So 7 strikeouts for Sonny Gray, and let's see what's going on with Angel.
Well, tomorrow night is Bay Area Hip Hop Night. Hieroglyphics crew will be out here throwing out the first pitch. And not only that, it is also fireworks night. You can take in the whole show at your seats, or you can go down to the field, and that's a great vantage point to check out all the festivities. Don't forget, though, field availability is limited, so go to athletics.com/tickets to get yours for A's Red Sox 6:35 tomorrow night. But the real question is, guys, who is your favorite Bay Area hip hop artist?
Oh boy, I'm gonna go E40. He lives out by me. I see him at the gas station.
How about Huey Lewis?
You know what? If we can squeeze Huey into the hip hop scene, I think there's nothing wrong with it. The E40's kind of intimidating. He's a big guy. Never quite sure, you know, what do you say? Hey, big guy.
Cowboy hat with a branded Sharks A's beanie on top of it. That's pretty good.
I like that.
That's a group of Cowboy folks.
1-2 to Mitch Moreland. 6 in a row retired by Sonny Gray. 4 of those 6 on strikeouts.
Last actually got Pedroia and Ramirez on fastballs. Bogarts at the curveball. Bogarts twice, 0-2 curveballs, and he struck out. And the best 2-strike hitter in baseball, and Sonny Gray's gotten him twice tonight.
Moreland takes this one low. Moreland with a walk and a home run.
6th inning for Sonny Gray, and that in itself is good, but considering the way things have happened for the Athletics, you'd like to see Sonny go 7. Would be extending over 100 pitches in his last appearance in Texas.
Big bouncer. Healy gives ground. Underhands. Sonny's there. 2 outs.
Well, Sonny's such an athletic pitcher. He's there, and ball hit hard and handled nicely by Healy. And really, he could have taken it himself, but since Sonny was there, he flipped it to him.
30, Chris Young.
There's not much he's going to get by Sonny Gray, either a bunt or a ground ball to the right side, and he has to be ecstatic that he got the big guy out. He's walked him, home run opposite field, and finally Morta makes an out.
So with 2 outs, here's Chris Young. Young with a sacrifice fly and a strikeout. Just realized, looking at the schedule, this is the first time we're seeing a team from the AL East.
That's right. Oh. Be going to New York, and that's right. The next trip, tough trip next time with the Yankees and the Indians. But you're right. They will see the Red Sox back at Fenway as well as the Yankees, and see the Mets this year, Philadelphia, Marlins. Not a movie time.
Yeah, East Coast. There's the AL East with the Yankees having a terrific season. The Orioles staying close. Red Sox there. Blue Jays playing better, but still 8 games back.
I wouldn't count them out.
I wouldn't either.
No, I think they realize it's a long season. They also realize they're pretty good, and just don't want somebody to run away. And unfortunately for the A's in the American League West, the Astros are going crazy, just crazy. 29-12 starting the day. 29-12.
Yep, that's the one thing you don't want to have happening. And it is happening in the West. You're right. Swing and a miss. Another good breaking ball by Sonny Gray. He's got 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Vote to lead it off. 6-3 A's.
Is brought to you by the 2017 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By AAA, what does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for more details. And by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica.
So Stephen Vogt steps up, leading off the bottom of the 6th inning. He's facing a new pitcher. It's the left-hander Robbie Ross. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Like Sonny Gray may be done for the night. So here's Robbie Ross making appearance number 8.
Wait for the shift.
Wait.
Wait for Moreno to go over on 2-0. That changes.
So what do you notice different about Stephen Vogt?
Batting gloves.
How about that?
8 years, that's not bad.
Giving it a shot.
He's got different color ones. He got road batting gloves and home batting gloves.
So we were in Seattle. It was pretty chilly, right?
Yeah.
Said I'm going to throw some batting gloves on, and he had a pretty good series. So not that ball players are superstitious or anything.
Of course not. Managers aren't either.
No.
But the voter had the road gray batting gloves. That's unusual. But I guess now that if he goes from no batting gloves, there it is. The major league debut. 5.96, 6.24, 101 pitches. So 5 and fly, 5 innings for the right-hander.
Vogt fouls it straight back. So the major league debut, you can only make one of those. Sonny Gray, very good tonight, and that is great to see. slider, and a good take by Vogt as he checks his swing. So he's got a leadoff walk. I'll bring up Trevor Plouffe, who's got a big hit in this game. Plouffe with a double that knocked in Healy in the 4th inning, and that gave the A's the lead.
Talking to Darren Bouchier's hitting coach, and the Red Sox actually have 3 lefties in the bullpen, 4 righties. Of course, Kimbrough, the big closer. They have 3 starters for lefties that will be starting tomorrow. 3 lefties starting tomorrow's game.
That one is drilled to left, and that's a hit. Well, loud hits for Trevor Plouffe.
One thing a 3-run lead does for a manager in the case of Bob Melvin is the lefties start to come in. He lifts Stephen Vogt in. He gets a walk. Trevor Plouffe, the right-hander, facing him. First pitch breaking ball from the lefty. A solid base hit to left field.
So 2 on and nobody out. Liam Hendricks is getting loose. Mariners leading the White Sox 4-2 in the 7th inning in Seattle. That's the start of a 4-game series at Safeco Field. Mariners come in with a 19-22 record. First pitch to Pinder's a strike. Pinder with a long home run in the 4th inning. It's his 3rd of the year, so he's got 7 RBIs now. Surprise, Ray, with these lefties coming up. Pinder may be in there a couple times this weekend.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was a breaking ball, and he stayed back and so strong. And really, if you think about right field, then you react on a hanging curveball. You're able to pull it to left center, and boy, that went from a 1-run lead to a 3-run lead thanks to that home run by Pinder, his 2nd of the season, the 3rd.
So another meeting between Vasquez and Robbie Ross. Robbie Ross, when he came up with the Texas Rangers, he was one of the better left-handed relievers in the American League. They tried him as a starter.
A workhorse.
And that did not go over real well. Still only 27 years old. Off of Vasquez, kicks away. Both runners move up. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out.
And Vasquez is upset, and you can understand why. This is a way of not blocking a baseball in the dirt. Watch this. You cannot backhand a ball. He knows it. Tried to stick his glove out to backhand. He was upset because he didn't get his body in front of it. It's almost like he was fooled by the pitch. It's going to be a wild pitch, but should be one that could have been blocked. Now the infield has to come in, make it a little bit easier for Pinder to try to drive one in.
Takes low. I would guess, Ray, not a lot of margin for error if you're a catcher and you go after a ball in dirt like that.
No, you're using your glove instead of your body, and the whole premise of blocking a ball in the dirt is to block the ball, not to catch it. And you go at it backhand like that, it's not going to work.
Pinder chased a ball well inside, and he strikes out. So 1 out. Runner still at 2nd and 3rd.
Like a cut fastball that he's got, and just kept running inside. Pinder couldn't catch up to it.
Now ready, shortstop, number 16, Adam Rosales.
So here's Adam Rosales. So Robbie Ross, his first year in the big leagues was 2012 with Texas. He was 6-0 with a 2.22 ERA. But the next year, then they 2013, another good year. 2014 is when they thought they'd try him as a starter, and that just did not go well. And then traded to the Red Sox, and this is his 3rd year here in Boston. Salas shoots one foul. So 0-1 the count to Adam Rosales. Fly ball to left and a strikeout for Rosie so far. Vogt at third, Plouffe at second. Swing and a miss. Boy, that fastball with some cutting action to it, down and in.
Nasty. Just keeps running. It's like with Pinder.
Salas got to put it in play. And he does. Base hit left field. Vogt scores. Plouffe had to wait to make sure it didn't get caught, the line drive. So he'll stop at third, and it's 7-3.
Well, it looked like Bogaerts either broke to his left or broke late. But it was kind of a strange look. Pitch inside, and Adam Rosales bringing the hands in perfectly. And getting the ball with the top hand, and Bogaerts. The ball just to his right, line drive, but could not come up with it. See, Bogaerts, that's a late break. That's a late move by the shortstop for some reason. I don't know if he didn't pick the ball up, but it helps the A's score a run in first and third. Former teammates, Moreland and Rosie. Rosie with the Rangers about 4 different times in 1 year. So
that's right, back and forth, back and forth.
They were teammates.
Here's Rajai Davis, slider way outside.
Which Bogaerts, the shortstop, he just could not get to it, but it's one of those that looked like he kind of stepped to the left. It broke a little bit late and just enough. It dive, could not get to the ball. Rosie, a good job, and maybe considering where the pitch was, Bogaerts didn't think he could make that kind of contact.
Downstairs, 2-0. Last night, the A's had just 2 hits in Seattle. Tonight, they have 11 in 5 1/3 innings. Backhand, second, on to first, not in time, run scores. Marrero made a nice play on the backhand. He got the out at second, but there's too much speed from Rajai Davis. Davis gets an RBI, and it's 8-3.
Rosales getting the high fives, and you're right for Marrero. He saves extra bases, but there's no way this time that Pedroia's going to turn a double play as quickly as he turned it. Still no chance because Rajai's down the baseline quickly, and again Rajai's on the base. Seems see this time if he can stay on.
Yeah, for a while.
But he's had a good night. A single and a double. And a fielder's choice for the run, but the first 2 times he was thrown out on the caught stealing and a challenge. Good to see him running well. It means the legs are strong and able to push him, which his speed has been outstanding.
First pitch to Matt Joyce is a strike.
Tuesday night that Matt Joyce and the A's with a big comeback in the 9th inning. Joyce hitting the 2-run home run. Rajai had the pinch hit single. Cishek was paying so much attention to him, and Joyce said, you pay that much attention to the runner at first base, you're not going to make a quality pitch, and he did not. He had a 2-run home run tonight.
Marrero, the third baseman, waits. He's got it. So the A's get a couple more runs, tacking on some insurance. It's 8-3 as we head to the 7th inning.
California Ford dealers, you will not see a better play than this. Bogarts on the ball up the middle. Adam Rosales, what a great play. Leaving his feet, extending to his left, gets up quickly and throws off the cannon. And it gets the out for a smart play. And what a play by Holy Toledo.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. So indeed a pitching change with the A's leading 8-3 here in the 7th inning. So Sonny Gray 6 good innings tonight, and he hands the ball to Liam Hendricks. Hendricks 1-0 with a 4.15 ERA. Right-handers hitting just 158 against Hendricks. First pitch to Jackie Bradley in first strike. Bradley, Vasquez, Marrero, the bottom three for Boston. Quick 0-2. So 103 pitches for Sonny Gray. He strikes out 8 in 6 innings and gives up the 3 runs. 2 of them came in the first inning. 2 of the runs and 3 of the hits came in the first inning. So he finished the night by retiring 8 in a row. One and 2 to Bradley. Hit pretty well to left field. Davis backs up though. He's got room and he makes the catch. So Jackie Bradley 0 for 2 with a walk. That's Matt Barnes, hard throwing right-hander.
Now batting.
So Ray, when we were in Texas and the Rangers kind of did a number on the A's, they were just getting started.
Yes, they were.
They won again. Rangers beat the Phillies 8-4 in Arlington. That is 9 consecutive wins for the Texas Rangers. So that is the longest winning streak in the major leagues this year. Ryan Rua hit a 3-run homer and Martin Perez picked up his 2nd win. So Texas now 22-20. And here's the situation that we're talking about, Ray, with these Astros. So the Rangers have now won 9 in a row, right? 2nd place. They're still 7.5 games out of first place.
Yeah. And they always say that in the course of a season, every team is going to have a tough road. If the Astros don't, it's going to be a long season for everybody else. A great season for them, but you know, they start talking about what if they do this and this and this, but 2 outs. Fans, join the A's for a special book signing by photojournalist Tabitha Soren. Tabitha will be signing copies of her book, Fantasy Life, Baseball, and the American Dream, tomorrow from 5 to 6:30 p.m. in Shibe Park Tavern before the A's take on these Boston Red Sox. So, Tabitha Soren, that should be a nice book signing. Fantasy Life, Baseball, and the American Dream.
Two outs for Devin Marrero. Speaking of the Astros, they are off today.
Hey, pick up a half a game.
That's right. They will host the Indians this weekend, so that's a good series. Astros, Indians at Minute Maid. Angels are off as well today. They are heading to the East Coast. They will play an interleague game against the Mets in New York this weekend. Interleague series, I should say. So the Astros and Angels enjoying an off day. Two-one pitch is a fastball first strike, 94 miles an hour. Hendricks trying to have a 3-up, 3-down inning. The last hit in this game for the Red Sox was Moreland's home run. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3-up, 3-down inning for Liam Hendricks. It is time for the 7th inning stretch. Shibe Park Tavern is jumping tonight. That's the place to be. 8-3 A's lead.
Fans, I'd like you.
Back in tomorrow, it's an Authentic Fan Friday. The Red Sox are here. You're going to get a ticket in our value deck, an authentic A's blanket, and a food and drink voucher. Also, we're highlighting local artists for the 2017 Collector Series cheer cards. And this week, it is Stephen Vogt. That is a good one.
Wow. Talk about somebody looking mean and tough.
Yeah.
Leading off the bottom
For
of the 7th
details,
inning
log
for
on
the
to
Athletics.
NBCSportsCalifornia.com. A chiseled Stephen Vogt.
Are his eyes that blue? Check his eyes. I mean, it goes good in the picture.
Yeah, that's it. I like that one. We got to get a couple of those. I'm going to hang one in my room.
Next to Stomper.
Sure. New pitcher is Matt Barnes. First pitch is a good overhand curve to Lowry.
Maybe Carl Willis went to his relief pitchers and said, who can give me an inning? We hope their starter goes 5, maybe 6. Save Kimbrough to the last if you need him to save a game. Right now, A's have a good lead. Keep it going.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up smog experts. 3-1 with a 4.60 ERA for Barnes. Barnes was the first-round draft pick of the Red Sox back in 2011, the 19th player chosen. Good pitch right on the inside corner. Toss starts to throw for the A's. So managers rolling to their bullpens now. Lowry tonight, a home run in the first inning, 2-run shot, then a single in the third, and a ground out in the 5th. A's have 11 hits. The Red Sox have just 4. So full count. Robbie Ross goes an inning, gives up 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. All right, she's hanging in there.
Go A's! Go A's!
It's not going to wave, though.
She'll be sleeping by the 238 interchange, maybe soon. Three-two pitch, fouled straight back. Davis will follow, and then Healy here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 8th inning up in Seattle. Todd Frazier just homered for the White Sox. It's now Mariners 4, White Sox 3. Top 8. Swing and a miss on that high fastball, 95 miles an hour. So Barnes, he has a good fastball.
And he just showed it, almost kind of tempting, teasing. And there's the difference right there. And high fastball. Lowry upset that he couldn't make contact. He had a good night with a 2-run home run and a base hit. And the fastball, after taking some pretty good pitches out of the strike zone.
First pitch to Chris Davis, just a touch outside. Tigers beat the Orioles tonight 6-5 in Detroit. Zimmerman over Bundy. J.D. Martinez is back, and he already has 5 home runs for the Tigers. Okay. So you think they didn't miss him?
Yeah, to go along with Victor and Cabrera, Kinsler. Yeah, pretty good hitting ball club. A's missed him just in time because Homer beat him, and then the A's had back-to-back walk-offs.
Chris Davis has a home run tonight, and he rips one to center. A little knuckling action, and it bounces in front of Bradley.
Yep, Bob Miller, the A's will be enjoying a day of golf at the 35th annual A's Community Fund Golf Classics presented by Chevron and Kelly-Moore Paints on Monday, this coming Monday, the 22nd at the Black Hawk Country Club. Tickets can be purchased for the awards dinner and live auction. Proceeds benefit the A's Community Fund. For more information, visit athletics.com or call 510-563-2241. Where's your swing on that? Keep showing all these. Keep looking for your swing. Your great golf swing.
Yeah, something I tell you. Followed into the trees.
Well,
or at Blackhawk into some gully.
House.
Yeah. Or a house. Yeah.
Yeah, be careful. You don't want to claim any of those.
There's a ball loose out in left field that Chris Young takes care of. Healy's 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 4th. He's also struck out and grounded out. Big swing, fouled straight back. Doubleheader today in Minnesota. Interleague, the Rockies beat the Twins 5-1 in Game 1. Twins shut out Colorado 2-0 in Game 2. They got rained out yesterday. Look who's in first place.
Minnesota Twins. Isn't that ironic that you'd have the Colorado Rockies where it could snow this time of the year, rained out in Minneapolis, and they had to play a doubleheader? Or when we were there on the Monday, fortunately an off day, it was 33 degrees with snow and sleet.
Yeah, that was not good weather as Healy gets called out.
They had a picture of Coors Field, and this was during the baseball season. This high-octane fastball taken. There's a 95 Xfinity. But a completely covered baseball field in Colorado in snow.
Yeah, and that was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you could get a day, March, or it could be April 1st, and it could be beautiful.
Exactly.
But
and then you go to Minnesota.
Getting snow and
get rained out. And that field drained so well, so it must have been a downpour or just steady rain for them to have to call the game.
So 2 outs. Stephen Vogt steps up for his his 4th at bat. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Curve is in for strike.
Steve asked, but that ball has a strike, and then said, yeah, right. But he's got to keep it nice with Mr. Foster, who has already taken one off the mask tonight. So it's nice that he has been able to stay the entire game, considering early part of the game he took a foul ball off the mask.
High pop-up over our heads into the upper deck. Fans below us are hustling over to make sure there's not a ball bouncing down. Somebody made a nice play. Seen a couple nice plays tonight. $12,016 is the attendance tonight. Thought there'd be a little bit more tonight with the Red Sox in town.
And with the Sharks A's beanie, I thought that would be the case, and maybe the Red Sox Nation going to wait for the weekend. Usually they are out strong. Right field crew is always there. Right field Will's on his phone though. Can't have that. I like to see the Red Sox fans nice and quiet.
He's calling in to see how the Stockton Ports did tonight. Late score. Blocked nicely by Vasquez.
That's a good block. Finally. And he said, now I can proudly go back and say I did it right. See, sometimes the key is the way the glove is positioned, and then you turn. You have to turn. That's the key right there, to turn and go down with the glove. And so glove in between the wickets. So he's had a wild pitch change to a pass ball. He had a block with the glove palm down, impossible to do, and finally made a nice play.
Vogt fouls it straight back to the screen. So 1-2 the count to Stephen Vogt. The night game tomorrow night, our first fireworks of the night tomorrow night, and then day games on Saturday and Sunday. And it's supposed to be very nice weather, so the day games will be fun. Plenty of sunshine.
Early game tomorrow night, 6:35 first start, first pitch, and so ready early for the fireworks show, and a day game following Saturday.
Vogt skies one. Left side coming in is Herrera, the third baseman. Fair territory. He has it, and that will do it. A hit and a runner left for the A's. We're moving to the 8th inning. A's 8, Red Sox 3.
Drives, plural, drives the game. How about first inning? Jed Lowry, number 5, straightaway center field, 3-2 pitch. It tied the game at 2. Back-to-back for the first time this season. On the breaking ball, KD goes to right field over the Ricky Henderson field side, and then How about Chad Pinder, a hanging breaking ball, big boy to the left center field. 3 home runs for the Athletics, a couple with runners on base, a runner on base, and that's always good. So the A's last 6 home runs, 4 2-run, 1 3-run, 1 solo. That's pretty good.
That's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. You want to put runners on base.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up in Smog. First, Montas comes in for his 15th appearance.
The Red Sox get to see the young man throws extremely hard.
Top of the order. Good challenge for Montas. Center field. Room for Rajai Davis. Rajai has it. So 1 away here in the 8th inning.
Well, sometimes a good fastball just gets on a power hitter so quickly that it leaves his bat. You think he got a chance, and then all of a sudden it just goes nowhere. But that's what it's almost like a fastball that starts drilling towards the bat and goes right through it.
So here's Pedroia. He's got a 21-game hit streak against the Athletics. Extended that in the very first inning with an infield hit.
Pound for pound, inch for inch, probably the best player in the game, Dustin Pedroia.
And that one's hit toward right field, and that'll be a base hit. Bounces in front of Joyce. So 1-out single. Well, Warriors playoff coverage starts on NBC Sports Bay Area Saturday at 5 p.m. Get ready for Game 3 versus the Spurs with the team you've watched all season long. Papa, Saint, Galena, Roz, and our insider, Monty Poole. So Game 3 against the Spurs will be in San Antonio on Saturday night. It's a collision course. Everybody knows it. We said it 2 weeks ago, Ray. You and I are certainly not basketball experts by any stretch, but even you and I can see what's going to happen. Why are they playing these conference final games when you just know who's going to end up playing the final? First pitch is a fastball. Looked like a pretty good pitch. Called the ball to Xander Bogaerts. Andrew Colomb starts to throw.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. The Cavs are winning. Of course, the Warriors are what, 10-0 in postseason play.
Something like that. They haven't lost. I know that.
Yeah. I think it's 10.
And did you know that in whatever happened, it certainly seems to look like be the Warriors and the Cavs, but still some games to play. But Game 1 of the NBA Finals is June 1st. That's the Thursday that we leave Cleveland. 4-game series, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
right.
Thursday
night.
And then Thursday after the day game in Cleveland, we will head out of there. But that's Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Don't know who's going to be in it. We think we do have a pretty good idea, though. So we could be in enemy territory, Ray.
Well, if Cleveland Cavs are playing, maybe just stick around and fly out.
Sure.
Just like the Tigers did when the Warriors were playing and guys just chartered a plane.
Well, they'll be playing here.
Yeah. But they chartered a plane and decided to stick around, get courtside seats, and fly down to Anaheim.
Good idea. Yeah. I'd do the same thing. If I had Verlander's money.
Verlander's and Cabrera and who else in there? Yeah.
The Bogaerts with a walk, so a little something going here for the Red Sox. Don't want to give them any ideas. Sonny Gray walked a couple. It's 3 walks now by A's pitchers. So Hanley Ramirez is the hitter. He'll be followed by Mitch Moreland. And those 2 runs off Robbie Ross in the 6th inning now look huge.
Yes, they do. Add-ons are always good, especially crooked number add-ons.
Number 13, Hanley Ramirez.
Ramirez RBI single and 2 strikeouts. Picked up his 17th RBI of the year in the very first inning. That one pops away from Stephen Vogt. He scrambles after it. Pedroia has to play it safe in this situation.
Yep. And Stephen got away with one because similar type of a block, and might have been fooled and turned his glove to the side instead of getting his body in front. And that's why he didn't really know where the ball was. And just don't want, because you're right, you get the back of the glove like that instead of the body. I mean, they don't call it catching balls in the dirt. They call them blocking.
You don't practice.
You don't practice catching. You practice blocking. I mean, it's not a fun drill, but it's something you have to do.
Strike outside corner.
Frankie Montas, you think that tonight Sonny Gray's pitches move all over the place? Montas throws 100 miles an hour, and sometimes they move a lot, so it makes it difficult on the catcher. And in defense of Stephen Vogt, that when you block a ball, you think it's going to be up, and all of a sudden, last second, it just nosedives into the ground. So it's just sometimes tougher. That's why the curveball that we saw Stephen do such a good job with Sonny Gray, that's a good pitch to block. Whoa. You just miss it.
Toward the bullpen. It's hanging up, and it drops right on top of the covering over the bullpen and then into the seats.
Well, it just stayed up, and boy, it was a high fly, and Hanley Ramirez just missed it. Get out of the way. Trevor Plouffe jumping up over the mound, goes down, and there's a little hug for Ryan Dull. How you doing, buddy? Sean Doolittle on the disabled list. But that's one you throw and you say, thankfully, hit it straight up and foul instead of into the seats, because that could have been a devastating blow.
Runners with their leads 1 and 2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a slider. Hanley Ramirez strikes out for the 3rd time.
Hard slider, and that's after throwing a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Comes back with a hard slider and gets the strikeout, and that's a big punch out, especially with a guy who is thinking about a 3-run home run.
So Colon coming in to face Mitch Moreland. 8-3, the A's lead. Washington Nationals face the A's, and 15,000 happy fans will stride home with the Chris Davis bobblehead presented by Xfinity. The arm of the bobblehead moves, depicting Chris's signature salute after a home run. For tickets, visit athletics.com/promotions. There it is. We don't make this stuff up. Chris Davis with the home run tonight. That was back in the first inning, his 12th of the year.
You know how big he is. There are two guys named Davis on his ball club, and they don't even put a K in front of his name. They just put Davis.
Sure.
It's only one guy salutes. It's the big man.
Colomb, he's got one job to do. You got to get Mitch Moreland.
Well, it's a good point, because when you only left in the bullpen, as he said, he looks at the roster, the lineup in particular, where he knows that there are certain guys that he's going to be called upon to get out. And you're right, it's one guy. And Ryan Madsen getting ready maybe for Chris Young, the next batter. He'd like to take it to the dugout, though, with Coulomb getting this batter.
There's a slider for a strike, so the count even at 1-1. Moreland a walk, a home run, and a ground out. So he's got 3 home runs on the year, 17 RBIs. Most home runs that Moreland hit in a season with the Rangers was 23. He did that both in 2013 and again in 2015. He hit 22 last year. Curve just stays high.
Well, it's I tell you, it looked like a strike. It's came in and upper part of the strike zone. It's such a big loop to it. Maybe Mr. Foster gave up on it momentarily. And he's got a sharp break. The curveball is very good. He also throws a hard slider cutter to the lefties.
Salas playing right behind the bag at second, so shift is on. Lowry comes in, has to throw quickly, and they get the out, and the inning is over. So Colomb does his job. A couple of runners stranded. Bottom of the 8th coming up, 8-3 A's.
Telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 3-5-0 for the Red Sox, 8-12-0 for the Athletics. So some crooked numbers up there for the A's. 3 in the first, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the 6th. And 3 home runs hit by the A's. So they now have 58 home runs this year. New second baseman for the Red Sox is Josh Rutledge. We don't know if there's anything wrong with Dustin Pedroia. Matt Barnes, his second inning of work.
Petey probably just getting the rest of the game off. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. Because after the long game last night, and Jerry Remy on the TV side, Brian said that at bed about 5 a.m. after traveling from St. Louis, he's actually beat them here.
How about that?
Yeah, that's surprising. A's themselves got in about 2:30, but long game for the Red Sox, but it was worthwhile. They won in extra innings. There they are. Jerry Remy to the left, and Abel Bryant, of course, with the Red Sox. This game right now, it's 1 o'clock in Beantown. It's their broadcasting.
Probably still got a good rating.
Oh, listen, those people. I don't know if anybody works that watches Red Sox games because they're up all night.
They get a late start.
Yeah, when the team's out on the West Coast, the games are starting at 10 o'clock Eastern time. That's why the weekend games, the day game Saturday and Sunday, is great for the fans back there. They can watch their team.
2-2 to Trevor Plouffe, who's had a good ball game. A single, a double. He's 2 for 3. Scored twice and knocked in a run. This one's driven to right center. That's hit well. And nobody's going to get it. It bangs off the wall. Trevor Plouffe into second with a double. He's 3 for 4.
Talk about a nice easy swing. It ends up taking it off the right center field wall on a 2-strike pitch. Watch him just go out and take this breaking ball, and that's a great swing from Trevor Plouffe. It's a little late kick, goes opposite field and hustles himself into second with a second double. Had one to left center, driving in a run. Back in the 3-run 4th inning, Small jumped off his bat, and boy, you see the outfielders turn their backs like they did. That's an amazing power stroke by Trevor Plouffe.
So leadoff double. 13 hits now for the A's as Pinder hits. First pitch to Pinder is a fastball first strike. Pinder's 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer. Mariners White Sox tied 4-4 in the 9th inning in Seattle. Another strike. This one Pinder thought was probably outside.
Still not a bad idea with the lead, but situational baseball, try to get Plouffe over to third base. They've got the right side of the infield open. Very good power going to the opposite field for Chad Pinder. There's the hole on the right side. They expect him to pull the ball.
Skies one into foul territory, and that will amongst the crowd. So the count remains 0-2 to Pinder. Blue Jays beat the Braves tonight 9-0. Blue Jays break a little 3-game losing streak. Interleague, lots of interleague games going on this week. Marcus Stroman, the starting pitcher for the Blue Jays, hit a home run tonight.
It's pretty impressive.
Game being played at the new ballpark in Atlanta.
And the A's pitchers started their bunting today, as they will be embarking on some interleague play themselves. The starters are out with instructions only to bunt. Don't want to get anybody hurt with their obliques or anything. Just bunt. If you get sacrificed, that's all you want to do as a pitcher.
There's a big curve, and Pinder swings over top. So that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Reginald Martinez Jackson. Wish him a happy birthday, Mr. October, Mr. Clutch. That was against the Dodgers. On opposite field at Los Angeles, 1974 World Series. And of course, a great diving play. This is against the Mets in the 73 World Series here at the Coliseum. And A's down 3 games to 2. Reggie, number 9. Number 9 here, number 44, New York. Mr. October. He loved the big stage, just like Poppy.
The numbers for Reggie Jackson: won 5 World Series championships, 563 career home runs.
Let's see, 2,597. They said that the great Hall of Famer Mickey Mantle and Reggie Jackson, you think if you go to the plate 500 to 600 times a year, that's 5 years, and he never made contact.
Swing and a miss.
But listen, Reggie was, I always thought, like Catfish Hunter, put the ball in his hand in postseason, big game, and Reggie with the bat. Nobody better to come through the way they did. And Reggie he missed the 72 World Series because of a hamstring injury that he sustained in the league championship at Detroit against the Tigers. But man, did he come back big at 73 and 4, and of course for the Yankees.
To Rosales. Well, your immediate thought of Reggie Jackson is home runs, obviously.
Yeah.
He was very fast.
Yeah.
Good outfielder, good arm. I mean, he can do it all.
You know, I asked him in an interview memories of playing the A's. He brought up something I was so shocked because he said in '74. You remember the play? Billy Buckner hit a ball to right center. Billy North missed it. Reggie was backing up. Reggie said, I threw the ball to Dick Green where I knew he was. Dick Green threw the third, and they got Buckner trying to go for 3. And he said, for me, as an offensive player, hit a lot of home runs, to think that defensive play was the one that stands out the most because that's the way the teams played. No extra outs, played great defense, and he backed up Billy North and made that strong throw. And that was his best memory playing with the A's, which was shocking.
Good for him.
Considering.
Well, that was a big play in that series,
huge, yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was Game 5 of the World Series. And if Buckner makes it to 3rd, he's there. The A's ended up winning by 1 run. And of course, what happened a little bit later in New York with the Mets, with ball through his legs playing the Red Sox. It's Ryan Dull is getting heated up, maybe for the 9th inning.
Another ball bounced foul, so he's fouling a lot of balls off against Matt Barnes, who's now thrown 34 pitches. Remember, the Red Sox used all 8 of their relievers last night. Hang in there, John.
They'll sleep well. They're happy that tomorrow is a night game because they can sleep in.
Now, Barnes only threw 3 pitches in last night's game, so that's why he is still out there. Swing and a miss, 95 miles an hour. Well, Barnes has 4 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3.
Just a high octane, a good fastball, and after the leadoff double by Trevor Plouffe, he is stranded there with a curveball striking out Penn and a good fastball striking out Rosales.
So now to the top of the order, and Rajay Davis, who is 2 for 4. Got a single, a double, and an RBI. Fastball in for a strike. Plouffe led off this inning with a double. He's got 3 hits tonight. He is still at second base. Good curve. See Barnes right over the top with it. With 12-6 curveball. You don't see a lot of those anymore.
Yeah. But he does have a good one, and then you're right over the top. Then he can throw fastball foot mid-90s. about relievers that normally they have 2 pitches that they want to get ready to throw when they come in a game. And for a relief pitcher to be able to throw mid-90s with the fastball and to use a 12-6 curve as a secondary pitch. Also got a slide on the changeup, but he primarily throws the fastball and the curveball.
1-2. There's that high fastball. Rajai Davis cannot lay off. So a leadoff double, but then Barnes comes back, strikes out the next 3. 9th inning coming up. So Ryan Madson comes in to try to get the final 3 outs as he faces Chris Young, Jackie Bradley, and Christian Vasquez. He's leading 8-3. A very good offensive night for the A's after being shut out last night. So he's nice to see a team bounce back. Just fouled by Chris Young. Young taking a long look down at Mike Malinsky. I think the Red Sox dugout thought that was fair. 1-3 with a 2.35 ERA for Madson. 16 strikeouts and just 3 walks in 15 1/3.
Gary DiSarcina, remember him with the Angels, now with the Red Sox. Let's call him for pizza. I think he's figured out it wasn't.
Doesn't make him a bad guy.
I figured that. I really just said that, but I remembered that that's one of your favorite delicacies.
Whoever invented it is a genius.
So much for the grasshoppers. They'd rather have pizza.
Yeah, did not get into the grasshopper thing in Seattle.
Nope.
2-2 the count to Chris Young, who had a sacrifice fly way back in the first. Since then he has struck out twice, both times swinging. Big chopper foul. Well, stay tuned after the game for A's post-game live. It's brought to you by State Farm. Pitch, check swing, slowly hit. Rosales comes charging and kicks off his glove, and Chris Young will be aboard.
One of those do-or-die plays again. Rosales has had a few of these in charge, and you just hope to come up with it cleanly. When you charge, ball came up, hit him right in the heel of the glove. An infield hit, but it's one of those with the speed of Chris Young. Not much you can do except just try to do what he did, and couldn't get it.
So that's the 6th hit for the Red Sox. Here's Jackie Bradley. First pitch down and in. Fun matchup tomorrow night in Game 2 of the series. Kendall Graveman and Chris Sale. Remember, the game starts at 6:35 tomorrow night, half hour earlier. There's fireworks after the game. Line drive into the glove of Pooh, fires back to first, not in time. So there's your matchup. Chris Sale is 4-2 with a 2.15 ERA. Check out the strikeouts. He has 85 strikeouts in 58 innings. 85 in 58. And he's only walked 13. He's one of the best. Big trade in the offseason, sending him from the White Sox to the Red Sox. So it's a major challenge for the Athletics tomorrow night, and let's hope there's a good crowd here with the fireworks. Our coverage starts at 5:30 with A's pregame live.
Think about it, Kai. When David Price eventually comes back, and we don't know what's going to happen with Velasquez, but Porcello, the A's are not seeing him in this 4-game series. But the Red Sox could possibly have 4 lefties in the rotation with Porcello as the only righty. That's unheard of, to have that many lefties. They have 3 in the bullpen. They have 3 starting, and Price does come back. They could possibly have 4 lefties in the rotation.
Yeah, none of the, I mean, unless injury steps in.
Yeah.
Rodriguez isn't going anywhere.
Right.
Pomeranz isn't. Sale, obviously, and Price. Pomeranz left his last start.
Right.
So there's tweak in his arm, but he is scheduled to start on Saturday against Sean Manaea. This may end it, and it will. Game 1 of the series goes to the Oakland A's as where their offense comes to life big time. They score